a moment, I was with one of my really dear friends, and we were cleaning out the closet and picking out an outfit for him for the funeral. And it was a really triggering moment for me because there was a lot of things I discovered in our closet that I did not know existed. And it was very alarming to me to learn that there was so much happening that I had no clue. So it was a really scary moment in my life to figure that out. But it also helped me process that he was going through so much. And he was hiding so much, and there must have been a lot of shame in that. And he was wrestling with a lot inside himself, and he was trying to self-medicate and cope with all those feelings because he didn't want to put it on anyone. Because he loved everyone so much. He didn't want other people to take on his pain. But it was very alarming and scary to find those things and have never known.
Who is Stephen Boss tWitch? Stephen Boss is someone who was on the Ellen DeGeneres show. That's what he was known for. He was the DJ and dancer, and he passed away about 3 years ago. He unfortunately ended his own life, and it's so sad. My heart goes out to his family. And recently his name has been coming up because his widow, Allison Holker, who used to go by Allison Holker Boss, has decided to write a book. Yes, write a book. And in this book, she details things about Stephen's life that no one knew about. We're going to watch this clip first, and then I'm going to talk to you, Miss Allison Holker, because you're out of order. You're out of order and you're out of line. So best believe we're going to have a conversation. But before we do, let's go ahead and watch the video. In the first part of the video, she just is basically talking about how her family's handling it. But here she describes how she's handling it and how she originally kind of felt like she couldn't really open up and process the emotions because she was holding on to the emotions due to just trying to be strong for everyone else. But she's about to describe how she processed it and what she's doing about that.
Example of now and show other people they can do it. I had dealt with an ex that had addiction problems, and then I realized Stephen had addiction problems, and it's something that I kind of have been like, where was I involved in this? And I had to take some steps for myself to realize, like, you know, I was able to help one, and I wish I could have been that for the other, but it's also not my job to do that. There was a moment, I was with one of my really dear friends, and we were cleaning out the closet.
Okay, ma'am. She just kind of casually said that, like, oh, Stephen had addiction problems. She says it as if it's just something that everyone knew. But the truth is nobody really knew about Stephen's addiction problem. We had no idea about that, and I don't think that was appropriate because Stephen Boss was known for joy. He was known for being outgoing. He was known for all of these memorable, great things. You know, when he passed away, people were devastated. The internet was so hurt, you know, and also so many people to this day still remember and cherish those good memories that they have of Stephen. And so Allison, being his wife, going on a campaign to, you know, expose Stephen and talk about things that he may have been hiding, to me that just shows that she didn't really love him, you know, because love covers a multitude of faults. Love doesn't go and just smear your name or make you look bad or make you feel like you are, especially when you're no longer with us. Stephen can't defend himself. He obviously hid these things from not only you, but others because he dealt with shame around those things. He didn't want people to see him like that. So for you, Allison, to come out and say these things about him and just say it so casually like it's nothing, to me, it just goes to show that you didn't care about him. You didn't care. You didn't love Stephen at all. Maybe you were using Stephen as a come-up because you and Stephen looked like a cute couple. Both of you could dance. You know, you had an interracial relationship. I always thought that you and Stephen looked alike, especially when I found out about Stephen. I found out about him after his demise because I never watched the Ellen DeGeneres show. And to see that you basically are going around and doing these things, it's disgusting behavior. It's absolutely disgusting. And Allison, you need to be careful. And that's not a threat. I'm not saying that as a threat or anything like that. I'm just saying there's probably people out there who are very upset by your comments. You have made it to where the family can't even, you made them sign an NDA in order to attend the funeral. That was unacceptable, ma'am. Absolutely unacceptable. It was immature. It was disrespectful to his mother, to his sisters, to his family. It's just not right. I don't know if he has one or two sisters, but I think I heard something about a sister. And so we're going to finish watching this little clip. It's only 2 minutes, 2 more minutes. But I just had to go ahead and say what I thought about that because it's just so sad and it's disrespectful. But there's an overall, you're going to hear her say something in about another minute that I think is worth talking about. So let's keep watching it, and then I'll come back and talk to you guys a little bit about it.
And picking out an outfit for him for the funeral. And it was a really triggering moment for me because there was a lot of things I discovered in our closet that I did not know existed. And it was very alarming to me to learn that there was so much happening that I had no clue. So it was a really scary moment in my life to figure that out. But it also helped me process that he was going through so much. And he was hiding so much, and there must have been a lot of shame in that. And he was wrestling with a lot inside himself, and he was trying to self-medicate and cope with all those feelings because he didn't want to put it on anyone. Because he loved everyone so much. He didn't want other people to take on his pain. But it was very alarming and scary to find those things and have never known. I have been trying to release all this anger this whole time. And I thought for a moment I thought if you would have asked me 6 months ago, I thought I'd released all the anger out.
It's interesting that she talks about anger, because when I first started playing this clip, y'all didn't get to see that part of me playing it and all that stuff. I had some technical difficulties and all that stuff. Because y'all, I'm still trying to figure out this laptop. If you haven't noticed, I'm on a laptop today doing the recordings and the reactions and stuff like that. So I'm still trying to figure that out. And so we still got to get everything worked out. But anyways, when I first started playing this, I was actually watching it on my phone. Getting ready for the day, doing my makeup, probably washing my face. And I just played the clip and I was like, wow, she sounds angry. I knew exactly what she sounded like. I could hear it in her voice. And Allison, I want to say this. This is not the best way to deal with anger. I understand you're upset. I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sorry that Stephen didn't live up to your expectations, right? But I want you to know something. Stephen was human. A lot of men face mental health issues. It's not just Stephen. A lot of men, if you notice, think about all the men in your life, audience. Think about all the men in your life. I bet you, majority of the men in your life, in most cases, have an addiction to something. I've noticed it. I've been telling people about this for at least 2 years, and it's not all men. But a lot of men have vices, like they'll either dip or they'll vape or they'll smoke something. You know, I notice it's more common amongst men than women because men don't have as much of an outlet, right? And I think that probably contributes to the way that they show up in the world, in the way that they decide to kind of deal with, you know, their coping mechanism. It's not right. It's something that definitely needs to be addressed in this country, but it's something that shouldn't be. I don't like how she's making it seem like, oh, he was just hiding this to hide it. No, he was hiding it because he was ashamed. He was dealing with something that felt so hard for him. And I feel like this interview lacks empathy. It lacks understanding. It lacks perspective of what Stephen Boss was going through. And I don't even know him, but I have enough understanding and enough empathy and understanding of men. You know, 65% of my viewers are men. So if that tells you anything, maybe I know and understand men enough to connect with them. And I think that it's unfortunate that she had no connection to her husband, that she's saying that basically she didn't even realize that her husband was suffering from something. That means that you as a wife were not, to me, you were not very in touch with your husband. There was a missing link there. There was something going on there. And it takes two to tango. This wasn't totally on you. It wasn't totally on him. it was circumstantial probably, and also there's probably a lot of things that went into it. And I understand that she's exploring, she's trying to understand what happened, but it's all about the way that you do it. Remember, Allison, that love protects, it covers a multitude of fault. And when you love someone, you protect them. You don't go on a smear campaign. You don't make them look bad in front of the world when the world already sees them as a light and as someone who's full of joy. You don't do that. This is not wife behavior. Let's go ahead and watch the rest of this.
Towards Steven. And I'm now learning that you're always going to have triggers. There's always going to be a moment when I get really sad or really angry or have a new thing I find out and get really confused, or like I said, like an aha moment of like, oh, how did I not know that before? And then I realized that's all a part of healing. And it's about creating tools that are healthy enough for you to get through those triggers. And that's where I'm at now, is I'm trying to make sure, even if I hit a low, if I hit something really hard, I just can channel it and realize it and fix it. One of my really good friends, she was over at my home right after everything had happened with Steven, and she told me I should document everything. And I was like, why would I document everything? She goes, it's going to be important for you to share your story one day. And so from that moment on, I just randomly would like jot notes in my phone, even though I'd be crying and I'd be so sad. But I was like, this might be important one day, or even to share it with my kids one day, the experience that we went through, because my youngers, they might not remember certain details and things. So I started jotting things down, but
Yeah, this would have been a good thing to share with your kids. At some point, maybe if they wanted to hear these things, certain things parents may never tell their kids, but I believe that, it's okay to tell your kids certain things, but certain things leave it out, But sure, tell your kids that. But don't come to the world and tell all of us that. We don't want to know all that. This man was someone who was respected. He was a black man doing something for himself. Some of y'all are probably like, Tamara, why did you just bring up race? Because in this situation, it kind of plays a role. It kind of plays a factor, because black men already have an image that is not seen by, portrayed in the best light by the media. And you go on People magazine and you do this to somebody who was your husband, it's unacceptable to me. This is not wife behavior, ma'am. But let's continue, and then I want to tell you guys what I thought after I watched this clip that you may have not have seen.
Interesting when you're on this healing journey, and the journey that I've been on is things were being discovered, or new things, or I was having new aha moments. So I would be writing this book and then have to be like, wait, go back, this is different for me now, or I just realized this for the first time, and it was kind of like therapy for me. And I looked at myself all the time in the mirror. I was like, wow, like I'm feeling better, but then things are also getting harder with it. So it was just constant battle with myself. But at the end of the day, I'm really proud that I did it, and I'm really proud of what work has been put out, and I hope one day that my kids can look at it, my friends and family can look at it. I really want to come out with this book because I've had so much support around me for years, around me.
I really just think it's too early to be coming out with a book. I really do. Something about this just seems off. It seems off, and I don't know, Allison, what you got going on, what you've been up to, but I want to let you know that what's done in the dark comes to the light. If there's something that you're hiding, it's going to be found out. Just like you're asking, or you're saying he was hiding so much. What are you hiding? Because this is just, something about this just seems off, in my opinion. I'm going to continue playing this, but I just wanted to mention that.
Around my family, and so many people feel like they know who I am, and they look to us and they lean on us. And I've always loved that our family is like kind of this example of love and joy and light, and that is true, and we want to continue to be that, and we really do feel that in our home and with each other and with our friends. But I did think it was important for me to share my full story with the audience, to share that they're having a lot of low times, or I've had to deal with things that have helped me to become the person I am, and I'm still going through things, and they've been really big dramatic things, and things I've had to really push myself forward with. And I wanted to share that with them, to see that, like, yes, I want to be that beacon of love and joy, but it's taken a lot of hard work, and I've gone through a lot of trials, and I've had a lot of, trauma and grief in my life, and it's been a choice to get myself through it. But I've also recently learned I can't do it alone. I have to get help from other people. And so,
okay, here are my final thoughts. I don't know if y'all listened to that last part of what Allison was talking about, but she was saying, oh, I wanted to make sure I shared these things with people so that they can see basically that I'm a real person and we go through these things. That's the problem with today's age. If there's overly too much transparency. Some things, honey, you just need to keep in private. Let that be between you and your children, you and your family. You already made the family sign an NDA in order to attend the funeral to protect your privacy. Do the same thing when it comes to tWitch's privacy. Protect him. This is someone who loved you, someone who had children with you. Yes, he struggled with mental illness, and so many people do. If you're struggling with that and you're watching this, know that you're not alone. Know that you are very loved, okay? You're very loved, and your life means something. Allison, if you ever watch this video, which there is a possibility you will. I'm convinced that Rachel Lindsay watched a review I did over her because that one got a lot of views. Please be mindful of what you're doing. This is someone's legacy, their life. Their children will see this. It's unacceptable. You were married to him. Be an honorable woman. A woman who has character that is worth more than beauty. I'm very disappointed in this. And I hope that this is a learning lesson for Allison as she continues to get backlash online. So anyways, I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching. If you're new here, I want to let you know I'm happy you're here, okay? To all my returning subscribers, y'all know how much I love y'all and I appreciate y'all. I'll talk to you soon, okay? Love you. Bye.